Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds talks with his Israeli counterpart Benjamin Netanyahu. Several MOUs exchanged between the two countries. Iran pledges to show flexibility at indirect talks with the United States on their long-standing nuclear dispute. And in sports, India to face surprise packet Zimbabwe in the must-win Super 8 encounter in Chennai. Prime Minister Narendra Modi concluded his two-day visit to Israel, marking a significant step forward in bilateral relations. On the second day of the visit, PM Modi held delegation-level talks with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Following the talks, India and Israel signed 27 outcomes, strengthening ties across multiple sectors. The partnerships span emerging and strategic domains, including artificial intelligence, quantum technologies, and critical minerals, signaling a major push towards future-ready collaboration. Prime Minister Modi announced the establishment of Critical and Emerging Technologies Partnership with Israel during his visit, accelerating collaboration in AI, quantum computing and critical minerals. He welcomed the UPI agreement in Israel, reaffirmed long-standing defense ties and pledged progress in joint production, technology transfer, civil nuclear energy, digital health and space cooperation.
Technology हमारी भावी साझेदारी का केंद्र है। आज हमने क्रिटिकल एंड इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजी पार्टनरशिप स्थापित करने का निर्णय लिया है। इससे एआई, क्वांटम और क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स जैसे क्षेत्रों में सहयोग को नई गति मिलेगी। मुझे खुशी है कि इजरायल में यूपीआई के इस्तेमाल के लिए समझौता किया गया है। डिजिटल हेल्थ के क्षेत्र में भी हम अपने अनुभव साझा करते हुए लोगों के जीवन में सुधार लाने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हैं। रक्षा के क्षेत्र में हमारा दशकों पुराना विश्वसनीय सहयोग रहा है। पिछले वर्ष हुए एमओयू से इसमें नए आयाम जुड़ेंगे। हम मिलकर जॉइंट डेवलपमेंट, जॉइंट प्रोडक्शन और ट्रांसफर ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी की दिशा में आगे बढ़ेंगे। साथ ही हम सिविल न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी और स्पेस जैसे क्षेत्रों में भी सहयोग आगे बढ़ाएंगे।
And Prime Minister Modi declared India's clear stance during his address, highlighting the Gaza peace plan as a pathway to peace. He affirmed India's full support for these efforts and pledged ongoing dialogue and cooperation with all nations to foster lasting stability.
भारत की सोच स्पष्ट है। Humanity must never become a victim of conflict. गाजा पीस प्लान से शांति का एक रास्ता बना है। भारत ने इन प्रयासों का पूर्ण समर्थन किया है। भविष्य में भी हम सभी देशों के साथ संवाद और सहयोग जारी रखेंगे।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced accelerated progress on the IMEC corridor and I2U2 grouping to boost regional connectivity. He declared India and Israel united in rejecting terrorism unequivocally, vowing continued shoulder-to-shoulder opposition to terror and its backers for global peace and security.
क्षेत्रीय कनेक्टिविटी को बढ़ावा देते हुए हम इंडिया मिडल ईस्ट यूरोप इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर आईमैक और इंडिया इजराइल यूएई यूएसए यानी I2U2 पर नई गति से आगे बढ़ेंगे। फ्रेंड्स, भारत और इजराइल पूरी तरह से स्पष्ट है कि आतंकवाद का दुनिया में कोई स्थान नहीं है। किसी भी रूप में, किसी भी अभिव्यक्ति में आतंकवाद को स्वीकार नहीं किया जा सकता। हम कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर आतंकवाद और उनके समर्थकों का विरोध करते रहे हैं और आगे भी करते रहेंगे।
Modi also said that India and Israel have elevated their long-standing ties to a special strategic partnership rooted in deep trust, shared democratic values and human sensitivities. He described the historic upgrade as reflecting the aspirations of both nations' peoples having endured every test of time.
हमारे संबंध गहरे विश्वास, साझा लोकतांत्रिक मूल्यों और मानवीय संवेदनाओं की मजबूत आधारशिला पर आधारित है, उस पर स्थापित है। हमारे रिश्ते समय की हर कसौटी पर खरे उतरे हैं। आज हमने अपनी टाइम टेस्टेड साझेदारी को स्पेशल स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप का दर्जा देने का ऐतिहासिक निर्णय लिया है। यह निर्णय दोनों देशों के लोगों की आकांक्षाओं का प्रतिबिंब है।
Prime Minister Modi engaged in key bilateral discussions with President Isaac Herzog at the presidential residence following his tribute at Yad Vashem. The leaders started with a cordial tete-a-tete followed by an expanded bilateral meeting. Talks centered on bolstering India-Israel strategic partnership covering bilateral relations, parliamentary cooperation, innovation, technology, defense, regional stability amid West Asia tensions and advancing the proposed free trade agreement. PM Modi emphasized shared democratic values, mutual commitment to counter-terrorism, global good and enduring friendship. President Herzog warmly welcomed PM Modi, expressing delight at the deepening ties and Israel's appreciation for India's steadfast solidarity, while highlighting the historic significance of the visit in strengthening people-to-people and strategic bonds. Later, in a social media post, Prime Minister Modi said that there is immense scope in futuristic areas such as technology, innovation, startups and more. Prime Minister also expressed gratitude to Israeli President for supporting Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam or a Tree for Mother initiative. PM Modi, along with Israeli President Isaac Herzog, planted a tree in the presidential gardens under Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam initiative. PM also extended an invitation to President Herzog to visit India in the near future. Earlier, Prime Minister Modi visited Yad Vashem, the World Holocaust Remembrance Center. He was accompanied by Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu and Yad Vashem Chairman Dani Dayan. Prime Minister also visited the poignant Book of Names Hall, a powerful tribute preserving the memory of millions who perished during the Holocaust. The Book of Names contains 4.8 million Holocaust victims' names. The leaders also participated in a memorial ceremony at the Hall of Remembrance. Prime Minister also laid a wreath and paid homage to the victims of the Holocaust. This marks PM Modi's second Yad Vashem visit, underscoring India-Israel solidarity against hatred. The memorial stands as a solemn reminder of the brutality of the past and our collective resolve to stand against injustice and create a better world. Prime Minister Modi met Israeli President Isaac Herzog at the museum and signed a visitor's book there. And Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri addressed a special briefing on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Israel. During the briefing, he said that this is Prime Minister Modi's second visit to Israel and that it marks a significant milestone in India-Israel relations. Take a listen.
Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, to Israel, which has just concluded a short while ago. The Prime Minister is here on a state visit at the invitation of His Excellency, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. This is the Prime Minister's second visit to Israel. He was last here almost 9 years ago, which was his first visit. The visit is therefore a very, very significant milestone in India-Israel relations.
In his briefing, the Foreign Secretary described the Prime Minister's visit as extremely rich and productive.
This visit comes in the context of an effort by the Prime Minister himself to take interest in and pursue our relations, India's relations with all the countries in this region in West Asia. In slightly over the last 1 year, the Prime Minister has paid visits to Kuwait, to Saudi Arabia, to Jordan, to Oman, and now to Israel.
Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri also said that yesterday Prime Minister Modi was conferred the Speaker of the Knesset Medal during his address to Israel's parliament.
Yesterday, the highlight of the Prime Minister's program, which I'm sure all of you would have followed, was his address to the Knesset, where he was invited by the Speaker of the Knesset, His Excellency, Mr. Amir Ohana, to address a special plenary session of the Knesset. The session was also addressed by Prime Minister Netanyahu and Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Yair Lapid. The Prime Minister was also conferred the Medal of the Knesset in recognition of his exceptional contribution through his leadership to strengthen the strategic relations between India and Israel. And Prime Minister Modi is the first recipient of this medal.
And Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney will pay an official visit to India from 27 February to 2nd March at the invitation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This will be Prime Minister Carney's first official visit to India. On 27 February, Prime Minister Carney will arrive in Mumbai. Over the next 2 days, he will participate in separate business engagements, interact with Indian and Canadian CEOs, industry and financial experts, innovators, educators, as well as Canadian pension funds based in India. Prime Minister Carney will arrive in New Delhi on 1st March. On 2nd March, the two Prime Ministers will hold delegation-level talks at Hyderabad House. Both leaders will review the progress achieved till date across diverse areas of India-Canada strategic partnership, building on their earlier meetings in Kananaskis in June 2025 and Johannesburg in November 2025. They will also take stock of ongoing cooperation in key pillars, including trade and investment, energy, critical minerals, agriculture, education, research and innovation, and people-to-people ties. The two leaders will also exchange views on regional and global developments. Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Carney will also attend India-Canada CEOs Forum scheduled later in the day. All right, still to come on this edition of DD India Live. PM Modi becomes first world leader to cross 100 million followers on Instagram. Welcome back. You're watching Indeed India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. India's Minister for Electronics and Information Technology, Ashwini Vaishnav, addressed the Digital News Publishers Association Conclave 2026. Minister emphasized that human society rests on institutions built on trust. Ashwini Vaishnav also said that platforms that use journalistic content must share value equitably with those who produce it. Vaishnav warned that failure to adhere to these principles would have consequences.
Platforms must wake up, must understand the importance of reinforcing trust in the institutions which human society has created over thousands of years. Platforms must take the responsibility for the content that is hosted by them. The online safety of children, the online safety of all citizens is a responsibility of the platforms. Non-adherence to these principles will definitely make them responsible, because the nature of internet has changed now, and synthetic content should not be generated without the consent of the person whose face or voice or personality has been used to create the content. Time has come, friends, to make that big inflectional change, and I will request the platforms to cooperate with this human society's basic need, and the society which is today asking for this change has to be respected.
And Prime Minister Modi has become the first international leader and politician to attain 100 million followers milestone on Instagram. On Thursday, PM Modi joined Instagram in 2014 and currently has more than twice as many followers as US President Donald Trump. US President Donald Trump holds the second spot with 43.2 million followers. Following him are Presidents Prabowo Subianto of Indonesia with 15 million followers, Brazilian President Lula with 14.4 million followers, Turkish President Erdogan with 11.6 million followers, and Argentine President Javier Milei with 6.4 million followers. PM Modi's account is one of the most engaging digital spaces for world leaders over the last 10 years. And President Draupadi Murmu is on an official visit to Maharashtra, Jharkhand and Rajasthan from February 24th to 27th. On Thursday, the President attended the Bhumi Pujan ceremony of Sri Jagannath Temple in Jharkhand's Jamshedpur. Speaking at the event, President Murmu said the new Jagannath Temple will promote spirituality and unity and also recall the unmatched devotion seen during the Rath Yatra.
मुझे विश्वास है महाप्रभु जगन्नाथ का ये यहाँ निर्मित होने वाला मंदिर अध्यात्म और सामाजिक सौहार्द का एक प्रमुख केंद्र बनेगा। यहाँ भक्ति की विभिन्न धाराओं के लोग एक महाधारा में आवागमन करेंगे, ये बहुत अच्छी बात है। महाप्रभु जगन्नाथ से जुड़े इस अवसर पर जगन्नाथपुरी की रथ यात्रा से जुड़े अनेक स्मृतियाँ के चित्र मेरी मानस पटल में जीवित हो रहा है। रथ यात्रा में जिस भावना के साथ अत्यंत विश्वास जनसमूह की भागीदारी होती है वो अद्भुत है तथा अतुलनीय है।
The Vice President of India, C.P. Radhakrishnan, addressed the 21st convocation ceremony of University of Kashmir as chief guest in Srinagar, marking his first ever visit to the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir as the Vice President of India. The Vice President highlighted the prominent leadership roles held by women. He described this as a powerful reflection of women's empowerment and progress in Jammu and Kashmir.
Happiest person for three important reasons. One is our education minister of the state is a woman. The second, the Vice Chancellor of our university is also a woman. Third, the majority of the gold medals going to our Yale graduates. So what a wonderful day today.
US and Iranian delegations are sitting down in Geneva, Switzerland for another round of negotiations to address Iran's nuclear program. The discussions come amid the largest US military buildup in the Middle East. President Donald Trump has threatened to strike Iran if a nuclear deal is not reached. Iran has agreed to show flexibility at indirect nuclear talks with the US amidst pressure to reach a deal. The ongoing talks in Geneva involve key figures and are mediated by Oman's foreign minister. Meanwhile, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian reiterated Tehran's opposition to developing nuclear weapons.
The US said that Iran should declare that we will not have nuclear weapons. Well, the Supreme Leader has already said that we will not have nuclear weapons at all.
Now, Kuwait marked two of its most significant national occasions this week, celebrating the 65th anniversary of National Day and the 35th anniversary of Liberation Day with large public festivities. Liberation Day on February 26 commemorates the end of 7 months of Iraqi occupation in 1991, and National Day observed on February 25 honors Sheikh Abdullah Al Salam, the leader who negotiated the end of Kuwait's British protectorate and guided the country to full independence in 1961. Families flocked to beaches, parks and malls, celebrating with water balloon games and flag-decorated cars, traditions that now define the festive season in the country. Sports now will start with cricket. After a rare setback in Super 8 stage of ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026, Team India have a golden opportunity to bounce back stronger. Led by Suryakumar Yadav, the men in blue will take on Zimbabwe in a crucial clash at the iconic M.A. Chidambaram Stadium on Thursday. With semi-final hopes still alive, India will aim for a commanding performance to regain momentum and boost their net run rate. And cricket superfan Shantipriya Goyal says India will outperform Zimbabwe in a Super 8 game. DD India's Deepika speaks to Tricolor Beer superfan.
The cricket fever is on, and right now we are joined by Mr. Shantipriya, who is here as one of the greatest fans, and he is famously known as Tricolor Beard. He's here. You have travelled all the way from Delhi to Ahmedabad to this place, Chennai. Tell us about yourself, how you are spreading the fan fever.
So I'm Shantipriya Goyal, the Tricolor Beard Indian fan. So I travel across the globe to support Indian cricket team. Last time I faced a transportation issue in West Indies, and I have to take the chartered plane at that time. So I thought this time the World Cup is basically organizing in India only. So I thought I should cover all the matches in my own vehicle. So I wrapped my vehicle in my Tricolor Beard with the Indian flag and Indian players. So I'm traveling all the matches in my car only.
What do you think of India's chances today?
200% India is going to win the match, and India is going to lift the World Cup again. And
your wishes for Abhishek Sharma especially?
Definitely, I met Abhishek yesterday only, and he was looking very confident, and I am thinking that today Abhishek Sharma will basically start the game, and he will start and he will finish the game.
All right, so there you heard that fans are expecting Abhishek Sharma to score decently today. They say that he's going to start and he's going to end. Let's see what happens. With camera person SP Dubi, this is Deepika reporting for DD India from Chennai.
And in Kathmandu Valley, the Phagun Holi festival began with the erection of a 3-story bamboo shade on Phagun Shukla Ashtami. Colourful cloth pieces were tied to Mayalrukh branches as the shade was installed before the temple of the living goddess. Devotees will continue rituals and offerings at the pole until Holika Dahan on March 2nd. The festival concludes on the full moon night with Holika burning at Tundi Khel, signalling the arrival of spring. All right, that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.